What's happening, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. We got a good one going today for the car. If you saw my last video, you saw I was driving around in the snow. We got a snowstorm last weekend, and the day before that, I had just gotten back from Lake Placid. I was up there snowboarding for the weekend, and it was crazy up there. It was snowboarding was a lot of fun, but we took this car up there. It did so well. We were dealing with like negative 15-degree temperatures. It was snowing every day, every night, more snow coming down, sand, salt everywhere, the crazy low temperatures. I drove like over 700 miles. This car was an absolute beast the entire weekend. No problems whatsoever, no complaints. Had a lot of fun up there, and I had a lot of fun being able to drive this car on the mountain roads and all that sort of good stuff. But between that weekend, the storm that we got once I got back home right afterward, this car is absolutely filthy. It is covered in sand, it is covered in salt, and today we're going to take care of that. I hate having the sand and salt on the car for any longer than it has to be, and it's been about a week now since I got back, since the last time it snowed and had a lot of sand and stuff on the road. So that's about as long as I typically want to go, and now we're currently sitting in a self-serve wash bay where we're going to be able to take care of it. Now, a couple things to note. This is not a detail wash. This is more of a maintenance. This is what I do for a winter maintenance wash. The goal of this is not to get the car to look good, because in my opinion, in the winter time in the Northeast, it's just gonna snow again. There's gonna be more sand and stuff put down on the road. The car is gonna get dirty again almost right away. So there's not so much that really you can do. It's very difficult to keep a car looking good in the winter time. So the real goal of this is just gonna be to get that sand and salt off the car, prevent corrosion, keep it clean, make sure that we're doing what we can to maintain it, and then once the summertime comes, we'll start getting it looking a little bit better. Now, the second thing to note is I'm not a detailer. This is probably not the perfect way to wash. It's definitely not the perfect way to wash your car. You want the perfect way, two bucket method, all that sort of stuff. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna make do with what I got at the self-serve wash bay. These things are not the best way to wash your car, but what I want to do is basically make sure that I do what I can to get that sand and salt off. That's the goal today. All right, now that we got the car mostly coated, what we're gonna do is start focusing on a little bit more on the wheel wells and try and get underneath the car while that soap sits on there and sets up. We're gonna take our time with this. I'm not gonna be too focused on the rims themselves, because these are my winter wheels. Don't really care about them. I don't really mind if they look good or whatever, but we're gonna want to make sure that we get within the wheel wells, the suspension, and underneath the car as much as we can, because that's where a lot of that road grime and salt is gonna be. All right, let's see what we can do about the underside of this thing. See if we can get under there. Now this is the point of the wash where they usually recommend that you use this thing over here. This brush. It's got a hose connected to it. You can get water pouring through there. You're supposed to brush off your car. Never ever touch that thing. That thing is filthy. It's got sand and stuff in it. It's been on a million other cars. It's gonna ruin your paint. Don't touch it. So next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try out the wax. It says to put the wax on before rinsing it, and then rinse after the wax. So we'll try it out. I don't know if it really does anything. This car already has a coat of good wax on it that I put on by hand, but I don't know. I don't have to pay extra for it, so we'll see what it does. All right, that wax stuff is on there. Again, who knows what it's really gonna do, but it doesn't hurt, I guess. So now, I'm just gonna flip this over to the high pressure rinse, and that should finish her off. All right, that pretty much covers what I'm gonna do today with the car. Again, this isn't really meant as like a how-to video. This is more so me sharing what I do to the car to try and keep it a little bit cleaner in the winter time, to make sure that I'm limiting the amount of corrosion, the amount of salt that gets left on this car for extended periods of time in the winter time. It really pays off. Like the X-Drive versions of these cars, which this is, has a steel front subframe, so that subframe will rust, and there's other parts of this car that will rust. For the most part, these BMWs, they have a lot of rust inhibitors in them, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But for somebody who works on the car themselves, like me, and they're gonna be spending time wrenching on it, trying to get bolts loose and stuff like that, if you leave all that stuff on there, not only over time is it gonna rust your car, you're gonna have corrosion, but it's gonna make working on it a lot harder, because you're gonna have seized bolts, you're gonna have build-up corrosion all over the place, and it can lead to a lot of headaches later on down the road. So not only are you keeping your car in better condition, but you're saving yourself a little bit later on. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna worry about drying the car off. Usually in the summertime, I'll either take like a leaf blower if I have it, blow it dry, or a microfiber towel and dry it off. But right now, I'm just gonna take it for a spin down the highway, blow most of it off. I'm not too worried about water spots right now. This paint isn't perfect. In the springtime, I'm going to be doing a little DIY paint correction on it, because right now there are a good amount of swirl marks in it and that sort of stuff. But right now, I'm not overly worried about it. Again, I'm just trying to keep her in good condition for the springtime. I hope you got a little bit something out of this, learned a little bit about some options, what you can do to keep the car clean. Another option would be go to a touchless car wash. I just don't trust like the underbody sprays on those things, because I feel like I can get to it a little bit better myself with the wands here. But not everywhere has these self-service bays, so the next best thing would probably be a touchless self-wash. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys got a little something out of it, maybe something that you can start doing to your car to keep it a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner in the winter time. But that's gonna do it for today. Please consider subscribing, start to grow the channel a little bit, and that's gonna be it for now. I'll see you next time. Peace.